Yo, shalom, shalom. Grace and peace be unto the 12 tribes of Israel. Good morning. Happy preparation day. I pray everybody's doing all right. Let me go ahead and go into shout outs to who's in the lesson. Elijah, I see you in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Good morning. Good morning. And as she said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sarah, I see you in the building as well. What's going on with you? Good morning. Good morning. Happy prep day to you. And Christina, peace be with you. Shalom, shalom. Hopefully all is going well with you. And like I said, let's get ready to dive on into it. Let me go ahead and let's first go ahead and go to Mark chapter 14, verse 3. And like I said, Psalm 139, one of the better Psalms, like one of the ones I think people really need to take heed to, and one that people really don't understand. Because a lot of people use that as a reason to speak on despising other nations or other people that are of your nation that act like other nations. But I'm going to give the sense of what that chapter is talking about. Let's get to it. Mark chapter 14, verse 3. And being in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment and spikenard, and she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for much and given to the poor. For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and given to the poor. Jesus said, let her alone. For it might have been sold for much to give to the poor. And they murmured against her. And Jesus said, let her alone. Why trouble ye her? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye are the poor with you always, and whensoever ye will, you may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She has come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for memorial of her. So whenever we bring out this gospel of Jesus Christ, the message given to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the globe, we're always going to remember the woman that put the ointment on the body of our Messiah, Jesus the Christ. All right, without further ado, let's dive on into it. Let's go Psalm chapter 139, verse 1. Psalm chapter 139, verse 1. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my doing, thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. So the first thing he's saying is, Lord, you know who I am. You know what I think. You know what's going on inside of me. You understand exactly who I am. And he says, the context is, thou understandest my thought afar off, meaning you don't have to be right next to me to know what I'm thinking. You can see me move and you can understand exactly who I am. Understand the Lord knows your thoughts. We've read it all throughout the New Testament. If you've read about Christ, he says he knew in their thoughts. Jesus knew their thoughts. He knew what they was thinking. He knew what's going on inside their head. So the Lord understands your thoughts. He know what type of mind you got. He know where you're at. He knows the mindset of that person. Verse 3, thou compassest my path and my lying down and art acquainted with all my ways. And he says he's acquainted with them. He is familiar with the things you do. He's familiar with the different directions you go, the path you take. He's understanding why you might turn left, why you might dig a hole and go underground, why you might jump up in the sky. He knows why. So when you think about these things and you understand it and you believe in like, hey, Lord, you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm going through. Yes, he does. He understands everything that's going on with you. So when people always talk about, you need to understand me, you need to understand me, a man of understanding that thinks like the Most High and understands like Jesus Christ, guess what? They have a great understanding. They know your goings and they know your spirit, just like the Lord does. Verse 4, for there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Again, it ain't nothing I can say or nothing I'm thinking about saying that you ain't already considered, you ain't already thought about. You already don't have a preconceived, I don't want to say preconceived notion, but you have an idea, general idea of what's going on. And that general idea is going to be exactly right. Understand when he says thou compasses my path, when he compasses you, meaning he's been all around. He's been all around the direction you've taken and the one you will go. All right, what's going on, Brianna? I see you in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Happy preparation day. Good morning. Psalms 139 and 5. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Then he says he beset you again. He placed you. He said he has been in front of me. He's been behind me. He has placed me in those places. All right. And he says he laid his hand upon me, meaning he's touched me before. He's been in front of me. He's been behind me, and he's been right next to me. So he knows me. That's the thing we got to understand. The Lord knows me. We can't act like he doesn't know me or he doesn't have understanding who I am. Just like he doesn't have understanding of who you are. The Lord knows you. You know what I'm saying? You might be fooling yourself and acting like, oh, nobody knows me like this. Oh, yes, he does. Verse 6, such knowledge is too wonderful for me. it is high. I cannot attain to it. And he said, being able to understand things on that level, hey, it's too much for me, because sometimes that's how it is. Verse 7, whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? Now, the question you got to ask yourself is, where can you go that you can hide from the Lord, that you can disappear? Jonah tried to hide from the Lord. He tried to hop on a boat and sail to another place. It didn't work. He was supposed to go to Nineveh, but he tried to go somewhere else. You can't run from the Lord. You can't hide from him. You know what I'm saying? Verse 8, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. No matter how high I go, you can get on the Empire State Building and go all the way up. I can fly in a plane. I can try to go to outer space, even though you're not getting through the dome. We can do all of these things. You try to get away from the Lord. He says, hey, you're there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. When he says in hell, he's talking about in the grave, underground. You can't dig to no place underground. You can't get no bunker. Be like, oh, I'm safe there. The Lord can't find me. No, you will be discovered in hell, meaning underground. You can't go underground and try to get away. And as Brianna said, hey, it is impossible. You can't hide nowhere from the Lord.
Exactamundo, dude.
You can't do it. You can try it. Play hide and seek with God, and he's always going to find you. After he count to 20, he's going to turn right around. There you are. He got you. It don't matter where you go. No matter where you think you can disappear to, he's going to make you reappear. Verse 9, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. So no matter where I try to take myself to, no matter what direction I try to go, I might try to go to the sunken place. If I try to fly into the sky and get to where the sun is, it don't matter. If I go into the sea, it says in the uttermost parts of the sea, in the deepest parts of the ocean, where you think you might hide and find all the mythical sea monsters, or go into find the Loch Ness monster, whatever it is you think you're going to find, the giant squid, guess what? The Lord is he's going to get you from that place, and he will take you back where you're supposed to go if you are his. Now, if you're not his, he's going to let you stay out there and drown or something, or he's going to let you stay out there and get eaten by sharks, whatever it is. But the Lord will lead you where he wants you to go, and you can't escape his direction. Let's go on verse 10. Even there verse 11, if I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. See, even if you try to hide in the dark, try to turn out the lights, and I got on black right now. I might try to put on all black and hide, turn off all the lights. Hey, he says the darkness will be light to him. Imagine when you turn off the lights, it's going to be the Lord's flashlight. Remember, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You can't escape him no matter what you think and what you do. He is there. He is going to mirror every single move that you make. Verse 13, for thou hast possessed my reins. Again, he says he possessed my reins. He's controlling my direction. Again, that light, this darkness, he knows all your moves. Anybody's ever played Metal Gear Solid? You fought against Psycho Mantis. He knows all your moves. You got to unhook your controller, put it in another one. But in this, when you go against the Lord, you can't do that. You can't unhook your controller, put it in the other port, because he's still going to know where you're going. So you know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, he's going to mirror your moves, and it's going to be impossible to beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was on the game. Well, in real life with the Lord, you can't do nothing. He just knows your moves. He controls your direction. He controls your reins. Let's read on. Verse 13. But thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. Again, he's protected me even before I came out into light, into the world. Verse 14, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right as well. And again, everything the Lord does is great. It's amazing. He says, marvelous are thy works. Verse 15, my substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Again, he says, when I was made in secret, again, you know, most people are created in secret physically, but also when it's made in secret in the direction God gave us and our understanding we were made with, because we are created also in spirit. We are created by the people that taught us. So we were taught in secret in our homes, all of these places, the houses that cover shame. We were made in secret. So when we're made, we're created, our mindsets are formed. Hey, the Lord was there. He's been everywhere. Verse 16, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book, all my members were written, which continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. Again, he says your eyes, he said with the substance, and he said when you were unperfect. Unperfect means we were not complete. We weren't complete, and he was seeing us, and he was going to give us the guidance and the direction to complete us, to fix us. You know what I'm saying? When as yet there were none of them. Verse 17, how precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. And he says, the thoughts, he said, how precious are our thoughts. Now, we love our thoughts. We love what we believe. A lot of us get in our heads and we think what we think is amazing. It's the We think we come up with the greatest invention ever. We think we the originator of things. Nah, there are no thoughts that have never been pondered upon on this earth before. Everything has happened. There's nothing new under the sun. And then we got to understand, he says, how great is the sum of them? The sum is the total. How many thoughts can we come up with? He said it is a great number. It's an innumerable number. You can't come up with many. Remember, the scripture says, the making of many books, there is no end. There is no end to the amount of thoughts you can have, the imaginations. We have so many different imaginations, different ways, different crafty ideas to try to get around what God has. The Lord is already there. By the time we reach our conclusion and think we're going to go find this secret little spot that God ain't, God's going to be already sitting in the chair waiting on you. Anybody ever seen that movie? It's a movie with Colin Farrell and Terrence Howard. And Colin Farrell was taking out all of Terrence Howard's men. He was killing his henchmen. And then he thought he was going to try to trick Terrence Howard. He walked into the room. Terrence Howard was sitting in there waiting on him. He's like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? He was chilling. He looking right at him like, oh, yeah, that was you the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I knew who it was. I was waiting on you. See, like that. He's waiting on us. He knows what we're about to try. Verse 18, if I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. If I count my thoughts, he says, they're more than the sand of the sea. They're more than the stars of heaven. There are so many thoughts, they cannot be numbered. I can't even imagine. I can't even understand how many there are. So we must understand that our thoughts, our ideas, our imaginations they don't stop. They're going to keep going. The Lord he has a limited number of thoughts for us to stick with. You know what I'm saying? They're in this book. And I say limited, it's a huge book. So many of us never read the book. So I say limited because our ideas, our imaginations are limitless. But what God has are limits. He has boundaries, and we got to live within his boundaries. We try to go outside his boundaries, then that's where we make mistakes. When we spend more time learning about things in the world, we watch more TV shows and YouTube content that is outside of the scriptures, then we got to question our spirit. We got to see where we at. We got to make sure that we are getting the majority of our thoughts, ideas, and direction on life from the Most High God of Israel. Psalms 139, verse 19, surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. You see, we got to tell our thoughts to get away from us. We got to get out of our head. He says, you bloody men, our thoughts are bloody. Our thoughts are full of danger and destruction and disgust. The Lord wants them to go. He said, get rid of that stuff. So when he's telling you get rid of that stuff, you got to tell this to yourself. Get away from me, bloody men. Thoughts, get away from me. You're evil. I hate you, evil thoughts. If you're thinking about if it's like you got murderous thoughts, thieving thoughts, you got lustful thoughts, you got thoughts to hurt your mother, sister, your brother, to rob anybody. You got all of these thoughts. You got thoughts to take your fringes off. You got thoughts to eat unclean food. You got things that are contrary to God's direction. You got to say, get away from me because y'all are bloody. Y'all are dangerous and y'all are evil. I can't stand you evil thoughts. If you are not telling your thoughts to depart from you, you need to check your spirit. And if you are allowing your thoughts to hang around with you, you're going to destroy yourself more and more. So understand how important it is to get out of your head. If you want to get out of your head, put a 1 in the chat. Say it's best to do that. If you find staying in your head and you want to hang out with your thoughts, then put a 3 in the chat and say, I need to repent. But that's what you got to do if you want to hang out with your thoughts, because your thoughts are bloody men. Psalms 139, verse 20, for they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. You see, the thoughts of the Most High, the thoughts of yourself, your evil, the devil. See, the devil is in the details of your mind. People like say devil's in the details. The devil's in your mind. The devil's inside you. That's why you got to battle it. That's why it says you must renew the spirit of your mind in Ephesians. See, the spirit of your mind, that's the spirit you don't want. But the spirit of God is the one you want. The flesh is what is fighting against you. So we must always remember it's best to get against the wickedness in our minds. The wickedness in our minds are our enemies. That's why it says thine enemies take thy name in vain. Our thoughts are the ones that make God look bad. Our thoughts are the ones that say, I'm not really with him. So our thoughts are always going to want to go contrary to the Most High. We got to fight them off, and it's not easy, but we must do it. We must have proper judgment, and the judgment must be going in the direction of God's ideas, God's understanding of life. If you ain't following God's understanding of life, then you are controlled by your thoughts. And guess what? God's understanding is going to be given to you through the vessels he has chosen to deliver you the word, to show you the way, the light, the path you must take. So if you ain't following that path, you following your own path, you following your thoughts. You following your thoughts, you got the devil on you. That goes for men and women alike. I know I say it to women a lot, but men definitely got to. You got men that still have to follow the men that understand life more than them. A lot of times they don't want to do that because of pride. And pride is something that is the wicked thoughts that are running rampant within your mind. Pride makes you think you better than you are. Don't do that. Understand your place, understand your spot, and stay within that. Stick within that and play within yourself. I say play within yourself because that's just talking about, like, people used to say that. Coaches said it all the time. I didn't understand it when I was younger. They would say play within yourself. Play within the game that you have. A lot of times you try to do things that's in your mind that you think you can do. Try to do things that, oh yeah, I seen such and such do this on TV, so I'm gonna do it. Nah, it's not part of your skill set. You got to work on that. You got to get to that level. You ain't there yet. Play within yourself. That's how we have to do. We have to stay within our mind, stay within our thoughts. What's going on, Nas Dilla? Grace and peace be with you. Happy preparation day. Come over to the YouTube and your comments will be seen a lot more swifter. And on top of that, subscribe. Make sure you are part. Psalms 139:20, for they speak wickedly against thee, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. And then the enemies are your thoughts. It is not people, it is your thoughts. Verse 21, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. You see, he says, don't I hate them? The thoughts that are enemies of God, I hate them. I can't stand them. First, let me read on. And am not grieved with those that rise up against thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. See, you count your thoughts, your mind, your mindset, everything that you believe is okay, that is really a not manifestation, but something conjured up in your mind. You got to hate it. You must hate your thoughts, the things you believe, those things that don't go with the Most High's direction. You must despise them. If you don't despise them, then you are enemy of God too, because you love them. Don't love them that love thee. You must hate them that hate thee. Let me say it again. Verse 21, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. Everything that hates God, you should hate. Put a 1 in the chat if you hate what hates God. Anything that fights against God, you hate it. Put a 1 in the chat. If you are okay with the things that hate God, then again, put a 2 in the chat and you need to understand that you need to change your spirit and change how you think, change how you act. These things can't happen if you do not despise the evil within yourself. You are always battling the evil within. Do not I hate them that hate thee. If you don't hate what God hates, if you don't hate something that hates God, then you really don't love God. Just like if you got somebody that hates your mother, your sister, your brother, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think about that. Oh, you hate the people, you hate those that I love. Okay. I see what's going on with you. I see how it is. Now, the Most High God is in a different position. So sometimes people in higher positions have to operate differently with that, but that's a whole nother conversation. But he says, those that hate you, Lord, those that hate my Father. Oh yeah. Now that's something. Now, anybody hates my Father, I'm good. I'm straight. Yeah, you stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back. Verse 22. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Perfect hatred is complete hatred. It is full. I'm complete. It's 100%. I despise it. That's how it must be. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a good example, Christina, because it's the time of the season. That dang on Christmas season. We can't even go into stores. If you hate going to stores right now, put a 1 in the chat, because you got to hear that dang on Christmas music. And you try not to hum it and sing it. I know I'll be doing it all the time, especially the black songs. All the Motown songs come on, or the dang on, all of them, Jackson 5, well, they Motown too. But anyways, whenever you hear them songs come on, Temptations, Motown, who's that? Boys to Men. Everybody got these, you know what I'm saying? These songs that was, in the world, they was pretty dope. I used to love them songs. They coming on and I'm over like humming them, about to sing. And I'm like, I got the devil on me, man. So hey, look, thoughts. I hate you with a perfect hatred.
We don't do that here.
I need to tell you,
I should blow your ass off this push. That stupid shit.
Them thoughts are terrible. They get on my nerves. Yeah. And like Christina said, you can't escape it. They there. Psalms 139:22 again. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. All of my thoughts that are contrary to God, anything that's contrary to him, they are my enemies. If you're my enemy, then don't be looking for me to do anything for you. Thoughts, get away. I'm fighting you constantly, and I will fight you until the day I die, if it be the Lord's will. That what's going on, Charles. I see you in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Happy preparation day. Psalms 139:23. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. So that's what we must do. Is hey, Lord, hey, search me, thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I need the thoughts when he says, search me, oh Lord, look through my mind, examine me and see what's going on. All right. Verse 24, and see if there be any wicked way in me and lead me in the way of understanding. So he says, find out what's going on inside me. And then once you do, Lord, hey, remove it. Lead me away from it. Take me away from the wickedness that is preventing me from being close to you, from being friends with you. I want to be friends with you. I want you to be my family for eternity. So anything that is going to stop that hinders it, remove it expeditiously. Remove any of it let me go ahead and go down the list of the things that I want you to remove from me that are preventing me from getting close to you. If it's a TV show, bye. If it's a video game, bye. If it's a store, bye. Like we're talking about the stores, if you walk in the stores and won't sing, if the store is going to cause you to not only sing Christmas music, but go buy you a Christmas tree and a mistletoe and be humming 'Tis the Season, then you need to never go to that store again. Despise that store. Get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch Home Alone this year. If it's going to have you singing Oh Holy Night, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Stay away from the things that will cause you to walk into sin. Now, I'm not saying singing songs is wickedness, so I want you to understand that. But it's the spirit that comes on it. And all of y'all know about the Christmas spirit. That Christmas spirit is strong. It's probably the strongest spirit out of all the pagan holidays out there, no doubt. But we must be like, if there's anything in there, lead me away from it. If it is a person, if it is a husband or a wife, lead me away from them. If they are contrary to you, if they are your enemies, then my enemies too. If it is a son, if it is a daughter, get them away. Brother or sister, bye. Whatever it is that is stopping you, get it away. Especially your thoughts, because your thoughts, your emotions are going to lead you away from the Most High. So let me go ahead and continue on. This is Psalms chapter 139. I pray everybody gain some understanding from this lesson. And like I said, this is what we do. Break down the Psalms, get an understanding how the Lord works, and we must understand how we work. Hey, love y'all, Israel. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's preparation day. Grace and peace be unto the 12. Shalom.